What's up, guys? My name is Shane with the Angled Disc Golf, and I am here in beautiful Grass Valley, California, my hometown, and I literally just got to play my home course today. I had a fantastic time playing with the guys out there, and I'm here to talk about backhand chain of events. I've talked about my forehand chain of events in a previous video, but today we're going to dive into backhand. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? My name is Shane with the Angled Disc Golf, and today I am going to tackle what I feel is the key to a strong backhand, a way that's repeatable, a way that uses your entire body, a way that I have kind of been studying and looking at through different sports and things like that. So let's dive into it. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and select one of my discs and just throw them aside, because you do not need a disc to visualize how your body needs to move. Super loud truck. To visualize how your body needs to move in a disc golf throw. It translates from every sport pretty much that you've ever played. So what I've been finding out is that in almost every sport there's going to be a weight transfer. In our sport and a lot of sports such as golf, there's going to be a rotation, and that your upper body and your arms are just going to be an extension of that rotation. To throw farther is actually to throw quicker. So better than just going out and trying to throw farther, it would be better if you had a net set up with a speed gun. So that's what I would recommend, is grabbing a speed gun and just a net and just having a little spot where you can practice throwing faster. Because if you have a chain of events that's correct, and your hips are starting the motion of moving your upper body, you'll just be throwing quicker instead of throwing farther. So if you get the micro movement down first, you'll be able to succeed at the macro. The best tool I think for this is something long and able to be held onto. So a baseball bat will work. It just helps to have that extra little bit of whoosh and leverage and something big. And this one actually has kind of a whistle. I don't know if you hear that, but I'm a right-handed batter. Not regular, I'm a right-handed batter. And I played baseball for a long time. So I'm very synonymous with, lifting up this foot, having there be a plant, having my hips come through in and explode into this brace, which is actually talked about in a lot of videos, but I don't know if a lot of people really teach you how to get there. So that's what I'm going to try to do in this video, is how do I get into my brace in a disc golf throw to where I'm just an extension of that brace. So I throw forehand farther than I throw backhand. There's a reason for that. Because I'm used to loading on my back foot, pushing power into my left foot, into the ground when I rotate my hips here, and coming through with either forehand or just an object. So I'm used to doing this, and having that come through is very easy for me. So when I throw a forehand drive, I can go, and it's very simple for me to get speed like that, because I built up all this momentum, push it into a brace by pushing power into the ground and using my lower body to propel my arm faster. When I go to backhand, I have to switch hit, and that's the problem. You'd have to lefty golf. You'd have to learn how to, and it's very hard to do. It's very hard to throw lefty unless you can switch hit or you are ambidextrous. It's going to take some rewiring of your brain to apply all those fundamentals you've had through years of hitting things like this to this. And I throw slower. You can hear the sound. It's slower. it's not able to get that natural, oops, my grandma's gonna kill me, that natural just speed of the hands and the body movement, that timing down. So I really recommend using something long, using something that you can get a forward momentum with a tilt of the hips to get that push through. Boom, that's actually pretty fast for me, and I've been practicing with this, and that's what's gotten me faster and faster. Even if you want to hit the batting cages and try to actually hit balls, that timing is going to be so crucial in getting a backhand. So that's the first step. I'd say if your body's not engaged, don't even run up. You don't need to try and add all these movements. You know what I mean? There's so much that goes into here, 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 that you don't need to add that right now. Okay, sorry about that interruption. Grandma said that dinner was ready, and home cooked tri-tip and corn is fantastic. So you can't blame me for wanting to go in. Anyways, so if you're relating this to any other sport that you've ever played, there is a weight transfer. So this is just something that if you get down early in your disc golf career, or if you get down after you've been playing for a while and you just kind of try and revisualize what a disc golf throw is, the last step is the most important. The last step, you're going to start a chain of events from here, all your weight's here. When you step, you can choose what to do at this point. But if you get this chain of events correctly, it is going to be so much easier to throw farther. So I would even say if you want to take your long hitting object and you want to pretend you're doing a disc golf throw, we go here on the X step so that we can turn our hips this direction, the opposite way that we're throwing, so that we can have a long last step here and have our hips faced away. So if you want to take this and go here, visualize, and then boom, I've now pushed my weight from here to here, taken these hips and pushed them into this leg, which is a brace right here. And now that I've done that, boom, my head's over my toe, just like any swing coach, any ball golf, any tennis coach would say. This is the most important part. So get this down more than anything. This weight transfer here, boom, your weight transfer, now your weight is on your front foot. Your hips are gonna come through, boom. This arm is going to line up with this, okay? It's gonna line up at the same time at full extension, but honestly, there's a lot of pros that don't even fully extend back. It's too much. As long as you can get this timing of weight transfer and your arms coming through, this whip of weight, you can throw super far, super easy. So before you add all this X step and everything, just visualize the last step. We're trying to turn our hips away. We're getting into a loaded position, very athletic, over your toes. Your face is not gonna be back here. Even if you're throwing a roller, you're not gonna be back here, trying to throw a roller. You're gonna be very compact in your stance, and you're going to push that weight forward. Chain of events is hips are gonna come in. This weight is pushing in like this. Your knee is almost gonna crush into the ground. And if you watch any slow-mo, anything, Beaver State Fling, watch Eagle McMahon. He will take his body, and he is so crunched up right here. He's here, long last step, boom, out to full extension, whipping through with his weight like this. Boom. So once you have your large object that is like a bat, you can kind of move that over. But there's another moment of kind of, I don't know, process in this throw, which is how the disc rotates in your hand. So if you see any pro like Sapapayu, he was recently on Beaver State playing stuff. If you'll see, he'll curl this kind of here. I'm not saying you need to be super bent and weird about it, but he'll keep this close, he'll curl. He takes a step here. This is his full reach back. He doesn't go much farther than that, but he has this chain of events where he comes through and his weight transfers here, and his form is like this against his brace, which is backward. His head is down here. Even when he releases, his head is here because his shoulders are lined up with his lower body, and when he pulls all the way through, it has no option but to go where you want it to go. People often will pull their head up like this, and then they'll pull it to the right and wonder why they did that. You're trying to look where your disc goes. If you line up your body to a point where you've made it to where that disc can't go anywhere else with your shoulders, you have a flat line here, and you go here, boom. If I'm full reach back, I go here, and I turn my hips into the point in the power pocket right here, and I have full extension with my arm after I'm in the power pocket here, which is a lateral perpendicular kind of thing. I've pushed this out to the point of follow through, or a full extension as they call it in golf. It would be boom, full extension, and then a follow through. So if I'm here and I have full extension out here, when my head is down over my toes here, disc has nowhere to go but where I'm telling it to go. If I pull my head up and I look where the shot goes, it pulls off your line completely. If you look at it this way right here, you'll see that I know when I mess up my shot and I pull it right or inside, it's because I pulled up my head and I'm trying to see where it's going. If I don't try to look where it's going, it has no choice but to go right where I want it. So this rotation around a spine is powerful if you get this motion of your hips going. But if you don't have any hips in your throw, your arm's gonna hurt. You are not going to throw as far as you could throw if you had this chain of events. So another drill, I just kind of like did it without even talking about it, is I'll put my hips back and I'll whip them through. Put them back, and I'm almost dipping from toe to toe to get this rotational momentum. Where I'm dipping up with this toe, dipping up here, pushing through, dipping up, pushing through. And it's almost like a fluid movement that you can kind of practice, which is rotational and weight. As you go, if I hold on to this tightly, I can whip through there fast enough to throw this, just because having weight right there and whipping through with your hips is so fast. So again, keeping your head down over your body, very compact. You're transferring your weight, moving your hips while your arm is back. This starts a moment, starts the movement into the power pocket. Your hips do. And then your speed all comes from here, which is called Beto drill. Speed all comes from here, hip load, push out. So from here to here is a whole bunch of rotation. It's what, 270 degrees of rotation that a lot of people don't understand. From here to here to here is a full cork of the disc. You'll see, like, if you have words or anything like that, you can see how much spin you're putting on it by having a reference point. Boom. My reference point is right here. When I uncork, this is full release. My R is now here. It was here, now it's here. So you're talking 270 degrees of rotation every time. And it's easily attainable if you get that chain of events down. So I would say, first of all, practice long object. Take a bunch of cuts with a baseball bat even. Just go there and try to get the movement of hips, and then you'll get into this power pocket where it's here, and that push out here is full extension, but you don't need to look where that's going because your shoulders are bigger than your hands and things like that. So all those big, powerful parts of your body are going to move in the direction where your disc has no choice but to follow. Your disc cannot go off that line. I promise you, if you try and look at it, you will pull up and you'll pull it to the right, and then you'll find out that you want to look at it every time. So you're being very consistent and you're pulling your head up like this, but now you realize if you just early release it a little bit, you don't get a full rotation, you'll throw it down the fairway. That's inaccurate. It almost feels like a grip lock when you throw right. When you throw perfectly, you should almost feel like, wow, I didn't let go of that until way late. And now it's gone straight down the fairway and with way more velocity than it would have otherwise. So if you just learn to get this chain of events, you're gonna throw so much farther, so much quicker, and you won't have to go through years of studying for other sports and things like that to get back to a place where you can throw far with a disc golf disc. It will just come naturally. You'll use your own body weight. I know people that are 250, 300 pounds that can throw farther than me because they know they get their body weight going and they have great form off to where they go. They can get all of that weight into the disc. So use your body weight, have fun, and I hope this has helped your game. My name is Shane with Angle Disc Golf, and I'll see you out on the course sometime. Please take a moment to thank my sponsor, Discraft Disc Golf, Lucky Disc Golf. I thank them all the time. If you see me out on the course, ask me for some lucky bucks. I love giving those things out. They buy back used discs as well, which is a really cool service from them. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on the Angle.